Welcome to the Dream 100 Show, the epicenter of influence, collaboration, and exponential growth. You're about to discover the power of relationships. Dream 100 relationships. And you're one relationship away from a totally different business and life. This is your host, Michael Tesner.
What do you do if your online marketing isn't working? The reason that I said isn't working with air quotes is that it's one of those questions that I get every single week. And it usually goes something like this. Michael, I tried XYZ. So fill in XYZ with whatever you'd like. The Dream 100 framework, Google ads, Facebook ads, cold email, search engine marketing, AI optimization, one of a dozen different things, if not more. And they say they tried it and it didn't work. Now, my standard reply, it's literally a template that I get this question so much, is send me a couple things and I ask for a couple of pieces of information. How long have you been doing it? If it's anything less than 6 months, reply back when it's been 6 months, and that almost always stops the conversation because, like you, I prefer instant gratification as well. But I also know in working the Dream 100 framework and working other marketing tactics that good stuff takes time. But what I wanted to share with you today wasn't to go and look at your cost per lead and the frequency that your ads have been shown or how many emails have you sent. I wanted to talk about two similar but different topics. The first one is that how crystal clear are you on the journey of your prospect and then customer? And then the second one that we're going to talk a bit about is how do you enhance all those things that you tell me are not working by deploying some offline marketing? So one of the questions that I ask if someone says they've been doing something for at least 6 months, I want to hear about the journey. Tell me about the life cycle of when someone raises their hand. How do they then turn into giving you money? Is that they raise their hand by visiting your retail store? So I visited a store last night with my daughter. Beautiful store, but didn't find anything that we wanted. But that first interaction was me driving by their location, walking into their store, and if I would have purchased something, they probably would have asked for my email or a phone number to hopefully try and follow up with coupons or something like that. What they could have also done that I was surprised that they didn't do was to actually geofence their store. It's a brand new store. It's huge. That I should have been seeing ads today for it, and I'm definitely not. But in that particular retail case, it could be a drive-by was my first interaction. Then you walk in. It could be a Facebook ad that you see or a YouTube video or something on Reddit. Whatever those different points of entry are, you want to have those listed out and then map the process. So what does that customer journey look like from prospect to customer? And then when they've given you money and converted to being from a prospect to a customer, what does that look like? And on the conversion side of things, that normally is where I just see so much, it's the right word that I'm looking for, so much incongruency. Like you're telling me that your customer journey is this, but then I spend 5 minutes and I realize that it's very different, or you forgot about that there's 3 other front doors. So I visited a recent home show and I talked about, I believe I even talked about it on this podcast. And they were mainly contractors. And it would be interesting for all of them because their follow-up has been absolutely dismal. It's been 2 months. I gave my information to at least 25. I was looking at hot tubs. I was looking at additions. I was looking at some new windows. And that follow-up game stops pretty quickly. So as you know, with the Dream 100 framework, we're all about continuing to follow up, using different tactics to follow up. but I need you to have this map so that you know the potential journey. So they might think, well, if I visit their booth and give my information, my journey should be they call me, they come out and give an estimate, and I either say yes or no. Well, what if there's a different journey? What if I wanted to get a bunch of information? What if I wanted some emails? What if I wanted references before I scheduled? What if I don't want an estimate in person and I want to talk through things on the phone and have you give me a range? There are businesses that I would have preferred a range where you walk in and you're thinking $5,000 and their range is 30 to 50,000. That's a pretty big discrepancy. So your task number one is to map out your prospect and your customer journey and look at all the potential front doors, all the places that add time to the process, because usually the big thing that I reply with if they say something's not working is I'll say, give it time. Now, giving it 6 months and not seeing results are two different things, but being able to actually have some skin in the game where you've ran ads for 6 months, where you've done some tactics, you've tried follow-up and you've tried outreach and emails and you start to hear crickets, but an email doesn't cost you anything else. So why not just continue sending emails? So step one, laser in on your prospect and customer journey. Step two is I want you to look at where you can start to integrate some offline marketing. Now, the good news is that because you're a listener of this show, you know that I'm a fan of offline marketing and in particular gifts. But what's been happening with AI is that the playing field for your competitors has gotten leveled. So let's say that you're doing $500,000 a year in revenue and you've got a competitor that's kind of nipping at your heels, but you know they're smaller. They're only doing 200,000. And you were always able to invest a little bit more in marketing because you were bigger. Your margins were a little bit better, so you were able to outmarket them, and that's why you've been growing. And maybe you were sending more emails. Maybe you were able to do a lot more social media content or some more innovative things to grab the attention. But with AI and every tool that's out there, I can go and create a commercial that beats your commercial in 15 minutes. I can go and create 150 social media posts that go out every single day, 100 times a day. Maybe I go with 24 and there's a new post every hour. Think about that. If you had the upper hand by way of the content you were putting out and the cadence, and your smaller competitors couldn't keep up, and now they can, what's starting to happen? Now, what I love about AI and how this ties into the Dream 100 and offline marketing is that there is too much noise. Look at how much email you're getting today versus how much email you were getting 5 years ago. Your digital inbox. There are days where I get 300 to 500 emails, and that's having filtering in place. I used to get 3, 4, 5, 6,000 emails a day. And then I put in tools like SaneBox and Superhuman and a bunch of other tools, as well as having an admin. I wasn't getting 5,000 emails 10 years ago. That number's not going down. Just not. I am getting 10 times the amount of spam calls, 10 times the amount of text messages. All those things are increasing, so my attention is getting scattered a little bit more, and that's why having that journey is so important. Where am I going to potentially lose attention to getting to the final stage in the buying journey? Where am I going to fall off track when I'm a customer of yours so that you can grab me with both online and offline tactics? What hasn't increased tenfold is my physical mailbox. I'm not getting 10 times the amount of direct mail that I was getting 5 years ago. I could argue that I'm getting less direct mail. And I'm getting less because businesses think that, well, producing a catalog isn't as important. How many catalogs did you used to get? Fewer companies are sending postcards because they think all the attention is online. So what AI has done for offline is it's carving out this unique niche, carving out a place to where the businesses that are willing to invest in offline marketing in tandem with online are going to win at the end of the day. So when you've got your journey mapped out, I want you to look at where can you insert some offline marketing. And I'm going to give you a few tactics and strategies that I would start with. Now, if you're a local business, one of my favorite strategies to start with that's easy is to look at where can you insert yourself from a community event standpoint. Where can you position your brand? Where can you give away products or services for free, have raffles, and just be out there interacting with the community? It's a great brand building tactic, and it's just an easy way. You can buy a booth somewhere. You can be at the local farmers markets. The farmers market that's 10 minutes from here on a Saturday, they get thousands and thousands of people. And so, Michael, I'm a local financial advisor, why would I want to be there? Still eyeballs, your brand, it's that piece of being omnipresent. If all the other advisors are trying to do online tactics and you're doing that and you're at these events, you will outmarket and outwin that business. So I start with community events. Number 2, I want you to look at how you can deploy a multi-sequence postcard campaign. So the biggest mistake that business owners make with postcards is they send one. They'll send one to 1,000 people one time. Oh, geez, we only got 1 reply or 2 replies. That didn't work well. It's a kiss of death. I'd rather you send 250 postcards 4 times to that same audience. With everything, marketing gets better with repetition, with age, and with time. You need to hit them with some slightly different languaging, and you do it over roughly a 2-month period. So they're seeing your name, seeing your name, seeing your name. I could count the number of businesses that do that probably on one hand, very rarely. Now, if you really want to shine, you've got 2 tactics. So community events we talked about the postcard campaign, but again in multi-series. There's 2 tactics outside of gifting that are great tactics if you put the time and resources into them. The first one is lumpy mail, which I've talked a little bit about on this show. And that's mailing something by the name, lumpy, that when they get it in the mail, they're going to open it because it's going to be an odd-shaped package, an odd-shaped envelope. It's going to rattle. It's going to make some noise. It's going to have a funky color envelope, something different to make it stand out. That's a good way to get your foot in the door. Somebody yesterday, and I called and said, great marketing. They sent me a FedEx package, and it had 2 full proposals. I've never met this company, of what their tool can do. So like it said, 50-page report, and they had it bound with my branding on it, sent it FedEx. So they probably invested $50 in it. I called. Boom, opened it, called. Now, yeah, am I a little bit of the not norm when it comes to the marketing stuff? Definitely. But I promise you that's going to get open and noticed. You're going to have a 100% open rate. No one's throwing away a FedEx package. It just doesn't happen. Period. So you want to get something opened, you do that. You do the lumpy mail. The final one is not as easy to deploy, but it's the one that you'll start to realize some of the most successful businesses in the world, and that is sending out, at the very least quarterly, but ideally a monthly newsletter, magazine, something in the mail every single month. There's businesses that are still sending me these every single month. I don't open all of them, but I open many of them. I've done business with many of them. So why would they keep sending stuff? Well, they probably don't know any better. They just keep doing it. Well, some of these businesses have tens of thousands of people on their list. These newsletters aren't 30 cents to send out. You're talking a few dollars each. So they're investing $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month to send this. Do you think that it's working? Unless they just have money to burn, I can assure you that those tactics work. You're staying omnipresent, but you're reaching them in their physical mailbox in addition to their digital mailbox. So my homework for you today, number 1 is nail down your prospect to customer journey and look at where you can be more effective. Number 2, I want you to look at how you can integrate 1 or 2 offline marketing tactics, handwritten letters, lumpy mail, quarterly or monthly newsletters. This will literally, it'll just put you in a league above everyone else because no one's doing it. And you can leverage Canva and Claude and AI to help you write this stuff, so you're not having to spend hundreds of hours doing it. You want to make more money? These are the tactics that you need to deploy. Michael Tasner signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'll see you next week.